Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to FTRL, and welcome back to FTRL F1. We are back after an extended break for the start of Season 14 of our F1 leagues, returning with, as ever, Div 1. So lots of new things to get through, new season, new game, F1 2020, finally here. New cars, new liveries, new drivers, old drivers, and a new voice in the commentary box. Joining me tonight is Mr. FTRL, just Mikey. Good evening, Mikey.
Good evening, Lee. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
First time in the stream. How are you? I'm excited to be viewing this for the first time rather than racing it.
Yeah, new experience. Should be good. Got you alongside me, so it can't be too bad.
Well, we'll ease you in gently, of course. Right. So, the new game, first season on 2020, but a familiar track. We're starting almost as if we planned it, with the first round of the season at Austria, as the actual F1 season did. How do you feel about the Red Bull Ring circuit?
I like it. Yeah, it's one of my favourite tracks. Nice, quick, very, very short. Should make for some good racing.
So, we'll have a quick rundown of the teams as the drivers start to go around, and straight to the top of the leaderboard is a very familiar face to FTRL fans. It's Mr. Dutch Tricks, three-time champion, the FTRL GOAT himself. He is back, and he's not very happy to be in a Renault, which I don't understand. I feel personally offended by his dislike for the Renault. But he's back to, I was going to say, to try and wrestle back his crown, but unfortunately he'd like to go into surgery for next week, so chances are he will not be pushing for the crown this season. But I think he's just happy to be back in FTRL more than anything, and we're of course excited to see him back on track for us as well. So
yeah, I hope he's back for an extended period as well. So
I should think so. Of course, the new game brings a lot of new faces, which we'll run down now. We've got 17 racing tonight, a couple of people missing. One's joining through qualifying, and a couple of people should be back next week, so looking forward to having full grids. So Dutch Tricks currently on pole. Second is Mr. Aaron Taylor, the league owner, in his new favourite car, the AlphaTauri, sorry, probably right. A beautiful looking car. I think it's probably my favourite livery, if I'm honest, this season. Well, it was my favourite livery.
Yeah, same here. I think my favourite now is the Merc.
Yeah, the Black Mercedes is absolutely beautiful car. So Aaron currently sitting P2, 6/10 of a second off. Yeah, he's going well so far, enjoying the new game. Hopefully he will be up front and challenging. Sitting P3, we've got Mr. Nexus Iceman, of course a winner in previous seasons. I think he's in the Haas, isn't he? He's in the pits at the moment, so I can't see where he is. We've got now he's a new face to me, but apparently he is a familiar face to FTRL, Mr. Scuba MUFC. So apparently a very quick boy. He is filling in this week as a reserve, but he will probably be around for most of the season, so I'm excited to see how he goes on. He's got a bit of a reputation for being a quick driver, so I'm going to be interested to see how he gets on. Down then, he's currently sat in P4 ahead of Brutus, of course our reigning Div 2 champ from season 13, now back in the big league, and there it is in all its glory, the black Mercedes livery. Currently sitting in P5, so he's carrying over his strong form from last season. He's joined by a new driver to FTRL, X-Way 97, so Mercedes currently 5th and 6th, so he's looking like he's going to slot in quite nicely. And
he's just on his way out the pits.
Yes, indeed. P7, we've got everybody's favourite bus onto the podium, back in his Ferrari. He's currently sat P7 with our reigning Div 1 champion Zumpy from season 13. The Alfa Romeo. He's moving over to wheel for this season, so he's setting expectations low while he gets the speed of his wheel, but interested to see how he gets on. And then going down McLaren, we've got new driver Casey Bernard, 2002. So let's see how he gets on. He's starting up on a flying lap now, so we'll stay on board with him as we run down. We've got Lennon also in the Haas, back again, where of course a former Div 2 champ. we've got Graham 89i in the Racing Points. Had a win in pre-season against the likes of Dutch and Tico, although there was some shenanigans going on between those two, so nice to see. But he was quick and definitely battling with Aaron, so expect to see him challenging for podiums and possibly wins. We've got the newest member of FTRL Div 1, Stais Bra, in the second Ferrari. Don't know a lot about him, so we'll have to keep an eye on how he gets on. And then P14 is another familiar face returning to FTRL. It is the Ying to Dutch's Yang. It's Tico 10 PSV. He's bound to give his Dutch compatriot a run for his money. Could this be Tico's season, with Dutch missing a couple of races to finally claim that crown? We've seen those two and T1000 Zach, when I first started doing commentary for FTRL, put on some absolutely outstanding three-way battles for victories. So let's see if they can rediscover that form. Also, we've got in the second of the AlphaTauris, City Bosch Blue, reigning GT2 champion on Gran Turismo Sport, back in F1 this season in the Big Boy League, partnered up with his bestest buddy, Alan. How's they going to get on? It's almost as if it was planned, Mikey. Somebody definitely rigged this. Put those together in Aaron's favourite car.
Don't look at me.
Yeah. Final two runners Saturday. We've got Nexus Cats in the Red Bull. Of course, another former winner in Div 1. I think he won a race last season, I believe, actually. So we'll see how he gets on back in Div 1. And also the second McLaren, a new runner, Mark 1710. So again, don't know a lot about him, so we're interested to see how he fits in. He's currently done one lap. I think his time is invalidated. Staying on board with Casey Bernard as he comes around the final corner. This will probably be a first flying lap. And again, he looks like he lost a little bit of time on this lap. 1:04.9, put himself into P11. Snies Bra into the pits. I think he's invalidated. Nexus Cats on an out lap. Who have we got on a flying lap at the moment? Dutch in the pits. Got Scuba MUFC up to P2 though. Popped in ahead of Aaron, who's just started another flying lap.
Two AlphaTauris on exactly the same time.
Well, that's... don't get much closer than that. You don't get any closer than that, in fact. That is, well, Aaron and City Posh on the same pace, in the same car. Those two flying, looking very strong at the moment, third and fourth. Put this blooming link out. Keep meaning to do it. Get chatting. So, any early predictions, Mikey? Who do you fancy this season? Who do you fancy tonight to go well?
It's hard to look past the likes of Dutch and Tico because their legend precedes them. But then you can't look past the likes of Aaron as well. He's got pace. I know he's on the wheel this season. Yeah, and obviously there's quite a lot of unknowns in there as well, so it's going to be interesting.
Indeed, yeah, so Dutch is looking very strong at the moment. Tico yet to set a relative lap time. He's on an out lap though, so pick up Tico. See how he gets on in the pink Mercedes this season, aka the Racing Point. He gets on and so, do you want to take us around a lap of the Red Bull Ring, Mikey, so watch Tico?
I can try, certainly, yep. So you cross the line, DRS is enabled. If you get it right, it can be quite a fast right-hander, but then you also run the risk of one you ride onto the quite harsh curb. Turn 2 / the straight, depending on how you see this, is quite nice and long with a DRS, tight right-hander, back onto the power, onto the DRS, and again, a lot of time can be made up here if you've got overtake enabled. Overtaking on 2020 is, as you know, pretty powerful. Sweeping right-hander, coming round to the left here, which you can quite easily run wide on. I do it quite often, which you'll probably see tomorrow night. And then as you come round towards the final couple of corners, Again, these can be quite quick if you get them right. But also, again, quite easy to run wide, but that was a nice lap from Tico, and he puts him into P2, so...
Being just 19 thousandths a second shy of Dutch, so these two have not lost any of their pace, and these two still very, very evenly matched. Can Dutch extend the gap? He's down by 0.076 coming out of the second sector. That has in front of him. Oh, he's lost it out the final corner. No, he's just had a big slide. Like he's lost it there, so the cameraman will cut away just as it looked like he was heading for the pit wall, but cuts back to him and he's pointing in the right direction. Of course he is, because he is the FTRL GOAT. Of course he's not going to drop it. Dutch doesn't do crashes.
I'm wondering whether anybody's going to be able to put themselves between the two of them. Option Pico.
Well, I say Scuba MUFC is currently closest to them. He's just lowered himself to a 103 flat, so he's got within 2/10. That gap a little
It'd be
bit.
good actually if Dutch and Tico have got some competition this season. I think it, rather than a two-way battle, if there's a 3 or a 4, I think that'd be great.
Oh, very much so. So we'd have probably lost somebody that was going to challenge them for overall victories, but to see how some of the guys get on. We know that Graham's obviously still set a lap time. He's on an out lap at the moment. In fact, he might be on a flying lap. So let's see if we can pick up Graham, shall we? Why won't it let me? What is going on? There we go. Getting used to these controls again. It's been so long.
He's on a flying lap. He's got overtake enabled.
So into sector 3 comes. Of course, just a 62-second lap round here for the guys at the sharp end. Out the final corner. Into your curb. He's invalidated his lap, yeah, so 103.9, that would have put him on about 9th or 10th. In fact, we've got Styes, Bra and Lennon on the same time as well, I've just noticed, in P8 and P9, so the field's very closely matched at the moment. And we've got one pair of driving on the same time, we've got 2 pairs of drivers on the same time at the moment.
I wonder what the odds of that would have been.
Probably up there with that 1997 Jerez Grand Prix where Villeneuve, Schumacher and Frentzen all got the same time. Which I think I remember watching that race, it was absolutely ridiculous. I still have no idea how that happened. I'm sure somebody was playing around with the timing screen.
Graham's gone for a second lap. I think he's invalidated this one as well. Actually, I think it might have been invalidated from the previous lap.
Yeah, I think it does that, doesn't it? Which is really annoying when you it's like, okay, you've invalidated the last lap, that's fine. However, then to take away your next lap is just incredibly frustrating. And he's only got about 3 minutes left now, so expect a quick bit in, fresh tyres, and on his way again. So into the final 3 minutes then. Dutch continues to hold pole position from Tico. Scuba is P3. Ahead of Aaron and City Posh. It's Iceman P6 ahead of Sweeney. Of course, a former GT Sport GT1 champion, making his first foray into FTRL's F1 tiers. He's ahead of the Ferraris, 8th and 9th. Ooh, go Team Ferrari. Onto the podium, leading Styes Bra. And Lennon rounding off the top 10. Brutus Mystic, who is now here, so that's the second of the Red Bulls, is now with us. I like that you can now join halfway through the session as well, because on the last game, of course, if you joined halfway through the session, you just start the race at the back. So it's good that he's got the opportunity to qualify, get his setup in, and he's currently sat P12. Again, a bit of an unknown quantity to say you were right. His first outing, but interesting to see how he gets on.
I'm wondering how do we kind of see the results for this race? So like, is it a good track personally for say if someone was to win this race other than Dutch or Tico? Is it a good thing to compare the rest of the season? Could they then go ahead and challenge for the title, or is it a bit too soon to tell?
Personally, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult to tell. First race, obviously, a lot of people are still finding the feet. The game's not been out it's been out a little while now, but you don't know how much practice people have put in. Obviously, and you've got people like Ledden saying, does anybody have a setup? You kind of think they've not put a lot of time into it just yet. But I mean, as a circuit, it's not overly challenging. Like, feels very closely matched. So, I think when we get next week, when we head to Silverstone, I think that'll be a bit more representative of where people are. Again, it just depends on how the drivers get on with that particular circuit. So,
yeah.
The next is Katz. He's one of 3 drivers yet to set a lap time. So heading to the final minute. So the track is now at its quickest. Rubbered in. So he gets on 15.9 in the first. Oh, he's gone deep. Oh, he's run wide. And he's going to park up, I think. So next is Katz. Doesn't look like he's going to set a representative time in qualifying for round 1. Graham on a lap behind him. Bit of a twitch coming out of 3. Sway has popped himself up to P6 in the Mercedes.
Mark is just about to start his flying lap.
So City Posh has gone faster and jumped Aaron now, so they're no longer on the same time.
Oh, that's a shame.
So what can Graham do? So Graham's looked good in pre-season, so I'm expecting him to be in that group just behind Dutch and Tico. Styes now has popped himself up to P6 in the Ferrari. So some late moves going on. Graham into the final couple of corners. Entirely through the penultimate one. Can he get the final corner right this time? Not invalidates. Yeah, he got away with it this time. And he goes only P13, the 114 dead.
I feel like he's got more time in him.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think only having one flying lap in has probably hindered him. Lennon coming round to the end of the lap. Currently P11. Dutch has improved to a 102.7. And Tico goes faster. No, sorry, Tico has improved to a 102.7. So Tico snatched pole position. Lennon moves up to P9 with that lap there with a 103.6. Popping over Sweeney.
Mark invalidated on his final corner as well. So he's going to be between him and Katz to start at the back.
So there we have it then for anybody on a lap still. Is that everybody done? Looks like everybody done. So first blood to Tico in a big racing point, who snatches pole position ahead of his fellow countrymen Dutch Tricks, Scuba and Aaron, who's managed to improve as well, back ahead of his team at City Posh. So
still incredibly tight as well.
Indeed, a very good battle going on between the teammates there, looking very evenly matched. First blood to Aaron, who goes P4, so he'll start on row 2. City Posh will be on row 3 alongside Stysborough. Next is Iceman P7 with Sway P8, Lennon P9 and Sweeney in P10. So first qualifying session of the new season done, and there's a familiar face on top of the standings.
All 16 drivers who set a time as well, separated by 1.3 seconds. It's pretty close.
Indeed, yeah, very much so. So 1.3 seconds all the way down to 16th, and obviously we know Katz is reasonably quick, so he would have been in there as well. Very easily could have had all 18 drivers in there in that gap. So there we have it then. Tico strikes first. He will be starting on the front row of the grid. Everybody's gone for the softs in the top 10. And will we see some alternate strategies coming out once the guys are on the grid? So some podium predictions please in the chat. Who do you fancy to be your top 3 for the first race of season 14? While we let some comments to come in, I'll come to you, Mikey. Who do you think's going to be top 3 this evening?
I'm going to go for Dutch to win. I'm going to go for City Posh to come second, and then for Tico for third.
Ooh, interesting. Right, I'm going to go Tico for the win. I'm going to go Dutch for second, and I'm going to go Scuba for third.
Okay. I feel like Aaron will be in there and thereabouts.
I think the top 2 might just inch away. I think Scuba might be on their heels, but I have a feeling he might be in a battle with Aaron and City Posh. So I reckon there could be a good 3-way scrap for that final podium place. But we shall see. Anything can happen. And in FTRL, it usually does. We're going to see
Michael C in the
safety
chat. Tico first, Dutch second, Aaron third. There aren't many corners, so it'll help Aaron.
Yeah, makes about a point. Right, so let's have a look at tyres. So run down, and so Tico on pole position for the first time this season, ahead of Dutch Tricks in the Renault. Scuba MUFC starting P3 on his return, so 3 returnees to FTRL in the first 3 places. Aaron making his return to F1 as well. He is P4, City Posh in the second AlphaTauri. P5, Debutant Stijsbra. It's P6 for Ferrari, ahead of Nexus Iceman in the Haas. Sway is P8 in the Mercedes. He seems to have had an off somewhere. He's currently a bit further down the grid, catching up. It says there's a McLaren ahead of him for some reason, so yeah, he's been off somewhere. Lennon is P9 in the Haas. Apparently he's sporting his brand new pink football boots. Interesting. Wearing them in the house. Sweeney is P10, so both Renaults inside the top 10 for round 1. Onto the podium starts P11 with reigning F1 Div 1 champ Zumpy in P12. Then we've got Graham in the second Racing Point, P13, ahead of Mystic in the Red Bull. And Brutus, our reigning Div 2 champ, in the second of the Mercedes, P15. Bernard, 16th in the lead McLaren. Nexus Cats, of course, who didn't set a representative time in qualifying, starting 17th. And Mark in the second McLaren will be P18. 3 drivers have gone for the alternate strategy. Zumpy, Graham and Brutus are starting on the medium tyre.
It's a good opportunity for us Div 2 guys as well to see what strategy is going to work best.
Indeed, that's why I like racing the day after. For that very reason, Mikey. You'll find out that working comms has its benefits. Here we go then, 4 lights, 5 lights, and season 14 is go. And everybody seems to have made a good start. One of the Hazards had a poor getaway, but jumping into the lead, it's Scuba into the lead from P3. He had a demon start. Jumps both the front row starters. Oh, somebody wide. Somebody that looked like Brutus maybe lost his front wing. And now they're going 2, 3 wide into turn 3. Dutch trying to look up the middle. That's brave. AlphaTauris have touched. City Posh to the back of Aaron. Scuba holds onto the lead. Tico into his slipstream though, looking for a way pass into turn 4. And he's down the inside. And retakes the lead. Just gets a bit squeezed. And Dutch looking for a way through. He's into the back of Scuba. And now they're side by side. Locking tyres. Dutch trying to hang on around the outside. Scuba's still got the inside. And we're going to sort this out. Dutch is still trying to hang on though. He's got the inside now. But drops back in. Stuy's now on the attack. In the Ferrari on the outside of Dutch into the penultimate corner. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Dutch hangs on. Into the pits comes the AlphaTauri. City Push. Frantic start, but Tico just about hangs on to the race lead.
We've got Brutus in the pits as well, and he started on the mediums.
Zumpy's dropped to the back. I think he's had an off somewhere. So Tico leads. Scuba second, Dutch third. The timing screen's getting a bit mental, but Stuy's hanging on to 4th. Aaron on the outside though, looking for a way past. Just a little bit squeezed on exit though. And they've got Sway and the Mercedes closing in. It's Iceman's P7 ahead of his teammate, who's got Sweeney side by side. On the run down to 4, Sweeney on the outside. It's Brave going outside of a Haas, because they don't stop. With Connor onto the podium, tucked in behind them in the top 10. Mystic up to P11. He's in a good start, he's up 3 places. Graham up 1 into P12. Nexus Cats is up 4 places into P13. And then you've got Mark up 4 as well in the lead McLaren, just ahead of his teammate. And McLaren's nose to tail. We've got Cats and Mystic side by side. Into the pits comes Mystic. So the Red Bull is in as well as he picked up some damage. And we've had City Posh and Brutus in on lap 1 for damage. So, get a breath back after a frantic couple of opening laps. And it is Tico Again, out to the outside with a
Switchback.
perfectly executed switchback. He will be creaming himself over that. Loves the switchback does Aaron, and he's up into P4. And Sway closing in as well in that Mercedes. So we've got 3-car battle now, 4th, 5th and 6th. A bit of a gap back to Iceman in the Has. His teammate tucked in behind him. Fended off Sweeney, who's just dropped back in for now. And then onto the podium, we've got Graham up into P11 now. He's got Mark, and next is Katz and Bernard as well, so we've got some nice little battle packs forming. And all the guys have had to stop. We've got Sumpy down some places. I think he's maybe just getting used to his wheel still at the moment. Being in a tight line, is he coming in? So Zumpy's in as well at the end of lap 3. And we've got City Posh Mystic and Brutus who've already had some damage. Meanwhile, it is closing up at the front now that DRS is active, because Scuba is right onto the tail of Tico.
It's key as well that Scuba's been able to keep in DRS of Tico.
Yes indeed, and Dutch is coming with him, so these three are very close together. Less than a second covering the top 3. Aaron has not shaken off Styes either. Very much still on his tail. And Sway there as well, he's still within DRS range, so that's key. The two Has are closing together. Battle with Sweeney onto the podium. Meanwhile, down the inside of Graham comes Mark. That opens the door for Katz as well. He's looking to get through, camera cuts away. Graham giving him some racing room, Katz gives him room on exit. And our first penalty of the season goes to FTRL and Taylor. 3 seconds for corner cutting.
I actually think that's his second.
Already? Yeah.
I saw something pop up earlier.
Looking up the penalties. And Dutch has had a good run through 1. And he's right on the tail of Scuba as they head up towards 3. Scuba goes a little bit defensive, but Dutch is down the inside. Oh, he almost clipped the back of Tico. Scuba hangs on around the outside. And cuts back and retains the position. Good driving from those two there. Dutch came within a whisker of damaging his wing there on the back of that racing point. Tico locks up. Oh, Scuba's got a little deep.
Dutch is right on his gearbox.
Indeed, great battle between these three behind them also now getting close now. Sway is on the back of Styes Bra and Aaron. So we've got 3 for the lead, 3 for P4. And then 4 in the battle for P7. The two Hases, Sweeney and the Renault, and onto the podium. Further backs, Mark are making a break from Graham, who's still fending off the advances of Katz in the Red Bull. And Bernard keeping track, though he's just dropped back a little bit. And then we've got the recovering City Posh, Mystic, Brutus and Zumpy, who've all stopped. Zumpy's onto the hard tyres then, so he perhaps trying to go to the end now.
Katz down the inside of Graham at turn 1. Nice and clean.
That's it done. Watching the lead battle again, they've just spread out a little bit this lap, so no moves this time around. Battle P4 closing up as well. And when having to use his overtake, he's already down to like just 11% now. Fending off the Ferrari.
It does go down very, very quickly on this game.
Especially a circuit like this as well. Because I mean, here you're going to have to use it quite a lot for defensive purposes. Long straights here.
You need to use it strategically and wisely, basically.
Glenn picks up a penalty. City Posh has also gone to the hard tyres as well, and Brutus, so we've got 3 guys now on the hard tyres. Potentially not going to stop again as a safety car comes out. We shall see. It's a battle for the lead, as you were. 6 tenths between first and second, 5 tenths between second and third. None of them quite close enough to each other. This time a little bit of a lock up from Tico there. Let's put Scuba onto his tail. Got the Hases going side by side into 3. Lennon with the switchback under his teammate. Gets the drive off of the corner. He'll have the DRS as well. And through he goes. So the Hases changing position, and now Sweeney on the attack as well. To the podium, just keeping a watching brief behind them at the moment.
There's a bit of a gap between 10th and 11th.
The gap is 2.8 seconds between onto the podium. Oh, race leader picks up a penalty. Sweeney picks up a second one there as well. So this has been Tico's problem since I've been commentating on F1, that he lost a couple of race wins due to penalties. So he needs to keep that in check. It's very easy to do around here. The track limits are very strict.
Yeah, we've already seen quite a few penalties from a number of drivers, so it's going to definitely come into play at the end of it.
So there's battle for the race lead. It's getting close again. Less than half a second covering them all. Dutch is very close this time. Scuba's going to have to go defensive. Is Dutch going to try and go around the outside? Oh, was that a bit of a bump in the back though? It's getting a little bit tight on exit again. Scuba having a poor run on out of the corner. Not using his overtake effectively to punch away from Dutch, and then thought about looking at this other Tico. Locks up again into 4. His defence tactic seems to be smoke out the enemies. Battle for P4 has just spread out a little bit now. Aaron got out of DRS range, which could be crucial.
He has used all of his ERS though, so I think that's what he's kind of made sure he was out of DRS by using ERS.
Well, that'll put... Now stays under attack from behind, although Sway is now also just out of DRS range, and I think he's coming in. He is. So first pit stop from the lead group, and it is our P6 driver. Here he comes. We've got this terrific battle for now P6, Lennon at the head of it, Axman behind him, Sweeney out onto the podium. So a quick check back on the leaders. Dutch feigns a look up the inside. There's a bit of a wobble coming out of the corner. They're all very, very close. 0.8 of a second covering top 3. Again, Tico locks up into 4. It's not putting Scuba off yet, though. Still very much on the back. This is what we wanted to see. We got somebody else putting themselves in the mix for race wins and podiums.
Definitely.
So hopefully he will be challenging these two week in, week out. Obviously he'll be probably taking over from Dutch actually from next week, when Dutch has his surgery on his ACL injury, so he'll be out for, we don't know how long yet.
Hopefully it won't be too long.
Of course, one thing that probably will work against him this season is the point situation. This season, rather than following the official F1 point scoring, we're basically giving a point for every position. So it's 20 points for the win, 19 for second, 18 for third, all the way down to 20th where you get a point. So everybody who finishes will score points. And it promotes consistency more than anything, so race wins alone will not win you the title, whereas in previous seasons, of course, you'd get a 7-point advantage over second place for winning a race, so you can very quickly close a gap. This season, however, it's going to reward consistency and turning up each week.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to cracking on.
Indeed. Of course, yourself and I starting tomorrow. Same circuit, so if you are not racing, or if you're racing now and watching this back later, please do tune in and watch the chaos that is Div 2. Because there's bound to be safety cars. Because we're all a bunch of noobs. In fact, we're on lap 10, there's bound to have been at least 3 safety cars by now in Div 2. So. Oh, Dutch with a big slide there. Again, cut off. I think that's what he did in qualifying, but the camera cut away, so I didn't see how it ended. But yeah, that was a big moment there for Dutch. He's just dropped off the back a little bit. Tico's just extended that gap as well. DRS is still open, but I think he's safe from attack this time. Into the pits comes Mark. So Styes has pitted as well.
Aaron's got quite a lot of the track to himself at the moment. He's got almost a 5-second gap in front and a 4-second gap behind. Let's
clip that curb a little bit though. So have a very good X out of 3. And then the nice one still running in tandem. Sweeney has just been passed by onto the podium, so I think he's had a wobble. Oh, Mystic's gone. On the start finish straight, I think he's dropped it out the final corner. Or is he in the pits? Looks like he might actually be in the pit lane. So unfortunately Mystic's first race has come to a premature end. Hopefully he'll go better next week at Silverstone for round 2. So top 3 still going, no pit stops yet. Less than a second continues to cover them as Aaron pits from P4. So P4 in. Lennon picks up the penalty, he carries on as well. Iceman through as well, onto the podium goes by, Sweeney through, so again, everybody who was in that second group behind. The top three have now pitted. Now where is Aaron going to come out relative to Stijsbra and Sway? Stijsbra has opened quite a big gap up over Sway. Stijs is coming into the first corner now. Aaron just out the pits. Now Stijs is on the hard tyre, interestingly. Aaron's gone to the mediums. In the whole position, Stijs is closing though. It's just over a second outside, so Aaron's got out of DRS range as well, which could be critical. Just enters Bernard pits. Battle here between Graham and Katz, still raging on. Katz in front now, but Graham's probably with the better tyres at this stage of the race. He's now all over the back of the Red Bull. And into the pits comes Scuba. So first the top three in.
He's blinked first.
As Iceman pits as well. In comes Katz as well, he's pitting. Graham goes around, of course he'll run longer, he's on the mediums. Scuba onto the mediums, he's on his way. So that leaves Tico as your race leader, half a second ahead of Dutch Tricks. Now he's going to set about trying to close that gap. Can he leapfrog Tico? Now he's got clear track to have a run at him. Tico again locks up into four.
Aaron's undercut worked. Gained a second on Scuba.
Yeah, he's right on the time on now. Scuba overtakes Graham. So Scuba now trying to do the undercut. When will Tico and Dutch reply? Are they going to be in this lap? Tico... No, Tico is not in. Oh, he is. So, late move. Both... Oh, Dutch has a slide coming to the pit. Tico... Oh, Tico got on the grass at the pit entrance.
Wise.
And has a slide. Just about gets away with it. And so, in they come. Lennon's in as well from P3. Onto the podium in from P4. Sweeney in from P5. Both Renaults are in. Is Sweeney going to get held up? Or is Dutch going to be on his way? I think Dutch is on his way. Scuba on the start-finish straight.
It'll be interesting to see where Aaron comes through here as well, because
here comes Scuba. Here comes Dutch and Tico. Scuba's going to sweep back into the middle. Oh, look at that. Slotted in perfectly in between them again. On warm tyres. Dutch on the attack there straight away. Oh, he just clipped the back. Dutch is trying to get the inside. I think he runs into the back of Scuba. Tico goes defensive. Scuba's got DRS. Dutch down the middle. Tico on the defensive. Can Scuba go around the outside? Lock up there from him. Again, he gets held up on the exit. Now Dutch is up the inside. We saw this on lap 1. And they sort themselves out, and it's as you were.
Great
wow, great battling again. Quite how Scuba got into that gap between those two, I do not know. Thought he might sweep by into the lead there with having warm tyres, but Tico just about got away with it. So the undercut.
Scuba clipped the back of Tico, but I don't think he's got any damage to that front wing, so got away with that.
Quick look. His wing seems to be intact. He's had a great run out of 1 though. Tico's had a very poor exit, and Scuba's going to sweep round on the straight line, I think. Tico's using his ERS to defend. Squeezes Scuba on the exit. Scuba trying to go the long way. Just squeezes him out. Great defensive work from Tico. And now Dutch is on the attack. He now goes to the outside for 4. Tico's ahead of him. Oh, he's hit the back of him. Oh, mistake from Dutch. He's in the gravel. He's got wing damage as well. Round comes Aaron. Through goes Aaron. He's just past Graham, who's yet to stop.
All this battling as well was Aaron's gained half a second.
He's gained half a second. He's also now gained a position. So, mistake from Dutch there. He got in a little bit hot. Obviously, Tico, he was trying to attack Scuba and got the DRS and the slipstream. And then Tico moved over to take the racing line, and Dutch just ran out of road. Looks like he's going to try and carry on. He's picked up a penalty there straight away, though. He's going to be getting a lot of understeer now with that. He's missing his end plate on the right side. So, drama on the opening round. Contact between what we class as the 2 title favourites. But that means now we've just got a 2-car battle for the lead.
I'm trying to work out where, if Dutch was to pit for new tyres and a new wing, where he might come out. I think he'd come out really towards the back of the pack.
It's quite a few Cars not too far apart, is there? So, what's the pit stop here? 15, 16 seconds, maybe 20 seconds, say? He's probably going to come out in about P14. Because the gaps are not huge. I'll put down the order a little bit. So, Dutch is now trying to home back in on Aaron for the final stop on the podium. Graham has stopped, according to my thing, but I don't think he has, because he's still on the mediums. I'm a little confused. Plus he's in P5, so he can't have stopped that. That can't be right. Stijsbra has dropped back from Aaron after pitting. Lennon and Iceman have jumped Sway in the Mercedes, so running long. The overcut has worked for the Has boys. Onto the podium now on the back of the Mercedes. Coming out of the final corner. Swinging a bit wide out the final corner. He's got a recovering City Posh behind him. We've got the lead McLaren is Mark in P13. The Cat's behind him. Brutus is P15, is on P16, and Bernard is P17. I think he's made another stop, so possibly picked up some damage. So, battle for the lead then, closing up again. Tika had pulled almost a second on Scuba, but Scuba is now back on the rear wing of the race leader. Now he's got no pressure from behind, so it is 2 for the win as we approach half race distance. For round 1 of season 14. Can possibly safe through the couple of corners here. Scooper's just got to stay close. He's using a lot more curb there. Scooper just pulling himself back onto the rear wing using the DRS at the start finish straights. Both get good runs through 1. So again, DRS pops open. And Scuba closes up to within 3.5 tenths. He's close now. This is the closest he's been for a couple of laps. But the DRS again. Is Tiki? He's going to have a look. Looks to the inside, but I don't think he's quite close enough. Both of them lock up into 4. Aaron now finds himself in a podium position. However, he's got a goat chasing him down, but a wounded goat. 2.1 seconds the gap back from Dutch to Aaron. Will Dutch think about another pit stop? Graham still going on those medium tyres, so is he going to move onto the hards, or is he trying to get to the softs? We should see. Stijsbra not far behind him. And Ferrari, good run from him so far. Falling away a little bit now, but he won't have to stop again. The question is now, are the medium tyres going to last to the end, or do we think some people are too stopping?
I feel like some of the medium runners may want to do a 2-stop, get on the softs at the end, but it depends on who's around them and how far, where they're going to come out towards the end.
It's Stijsbra just moving past Graham. Of course, Graham yet to stop. Stijs on the hard tyres, but he has made a pit stop. Up into P5. The Has boys still running together 7th and 8th. Lennon just ahead of his teammates. Sway in behind them. Pull a little bit of a gap onto the podium. Sweeney now has got City Posh and Mark, who's down the inside of City Posh, into 4. Good move there from him. Nice 3-car scrap going on. They sweep through the middle part of the lap.
The AlphaTauri car is beautiful, isn't it?
It's very nice. I just love dark blue. Dark blue is probably one of my favourite colours on a race car. It's not British Racing green. So, yeah, very good job on that livery this season. Well done, whoever AlphaTauri did that. So, race leaders, as you were. Still Tico leads. Still Scuba. About half a second, just over half a second behind him. And maintaining that gap to Dutch. So Dutch isn't catching him, so that front wing damage is hindering him. But he's in a very safe 4th position at the moment. Stijsbra a bit lonely now, he's past Graham. He's dropping him. Graham still to stop. It's lap 20 now, so those mediums are holding up well, which might bode well for those guys who stopped. 16 laps to go, and might get to the finish. Now Graham's got the Has boys closing in on him. Lennon now right onto his tail. Iceman not far behind. And Sway closing back in as well now, so
I'm interested in what setup Lennon is using, because I know before the race he did have one.
I think Graham is pitting this time. Yep, Graham is in. Now, 15 laps to go. Do you think soft time? These guys go to about lap 11. Lap 11-12 on the soft, so staying with Graham. Let's see what time he goes on to. He is going on to the soft tyre, yes. So, soft tyres onto the racing points, and away he goes.
Could be struggling towards the end of the race, but if you can make up a bunch of positions now.
Back with the race leaders, it's still as you were. Tico still leads. Scuba still hot on his tail. Aaron just starting to drop away a little bit, a couple of tenths a lap, but he is also extending that gap over Dutch. Now it's nearly 3 seconds, so Dutch hanging on well. He's got 4 seconds behind him, so he's not under any pressure from behind, but I can't see him making any inroads to Aaron's time. With that wing damage, is he thinking about pitting? He may be going to the end, try and make it work. Of course, Aaron's got a couple of penalties, so Dutch may yet leapfrog him. We shall see. That gap now 3 seconds. Aaron just inching away. And then Nexus Iceman and Sway are starting to catch Styes Bra. So, I don't know, making a late charge. That gap is now just over a second. He's not quite in DRS range yet. We've got somebody wanting to have some City Posh viewing and analysis. Okay, where is he? There he is, P11. So currently locked in battle, chasing Mark. He's got Sweeney on his tail. Bit of a wobble there. Sweeney pushed on the grass. Is he letting him through? Something may have gone on there. City Posh letting Sweeney through. Down to P12. Hot on the heels of the Renault. As Dutch Tricks picks up another penalty. Now that, I think, will equal him out with Aaron.
I know Styes Bra's got a few.
Yeah, Styes Bra's got quite a few penalties as well, so could be some moves later on in this race. Oh, Sweeney has a huge wobble coming out of the final corner. That'll give City Posh the run, and he just blasts past on the straight. Sweeney did very well to save that. We saw his teammate have a similar wobble there. That one was even bigger. Sweeney did very well to catch that. In the end. So, change of underpants for Sweeney. Nexus Cat's now in a lonely P13. Graham is P14 after his mega stint on those mediums. Can he make any inroads? It's not really leapfrogged him up.
6th, 7th and 8th going on as well.
Look who we've got there. We've got Styes Bra at the head of that queue. There we go then. Sway on the back of this one. Iceman, Lennon now right on the back of Styes Bra, like you say. Styes Bra on the hard tyres, Lennon on the mediums. So they'll have more grip at the moment. Can they go the distance? A good run at the final corner. Down, looks up the inside, but I don't think he's close enough. I think he's just showing the nose, while Sway is also now looking at the back of Iceman. So one has on the attack, one on the defence. Styes Bra goes defensive, looking the grass. Lennon down the inside into 3. He's got the inside. He's just going to run him out wide, but Styes Bra stays alongside. Lennon getting the traction off the corner, still there. He's got the overtake done. He's got DRS as well. Styes Bra tucks back in. Is he going to think about moving to 4? Not quite close enough. Good overtake from Lennon, up into P5 now.
Dutch is just starting to eat away at that gap between him and Aaron.
Yeah, he's got 4 tenths out of Aaron on that lap. Scuba sets a fastest lap of the race on lap 25 on 11 lap old medium, so because of the fuel now starting to drop down. Is he thinking about mounting a challenge for the lead, or is he still just biding his time? So these two just running around in formation. It is spectacular to see the good drivers at F1, how they can just follow each other so closely, lap after lap after lap. Obviously we saw some contact with Dutch, but we've seen it from for many seasons. Just the way these guys can just run so close together is absolutely outstanding to watch. Something I hopefully one day I will aspire to achieve. Unfortunately, usually when I follow somebody, I nearly run to the back of them at most braking zones. City Posh is in, so City Posh is going on for some more tyres. He's decided to get off the hards. He's gone back out on the mediums in 14th place. So what could have been for City Posh, obviously that lap 1 contact with his teammate has cost him. Scuba yellow flag. We've got, I think that's Sweeney's gone round. Yeah, Sweeney's dropped it coming out of turn 4, and he's damaged his wing as well. Oh, he's off again at 5 and 6. The corners on the circuit aren't. Not half the corners on the circuit are actually corners. So. Bad luck from Sweeney. He was having a good battle there with City Posh and Mark. Unfortunately, he has dropped it, so he'll be in for a fresh wing and some fresh tyres. So you can do City Posh sweeps past, back up into P13. Graham closing on Nexus Cats again. These two battling in the early stages when Cats was on the soft and Graham was on the mediums. Now it's Cats on the mediums and Graham on the softs.
Graham apparently is on 29 lap old softs.
Yeah, I've got that glitch as well. So definitely not on 29 lap old softs because there's only been 26 laps of the race. So that would be the first giveaway. So some glitches with this game still to sort out, but yeah.
The good thing about the point system this year, like you say, is that every position is worth fighting for because it's just another point on your total.
Indeed, so battle for the lead just opened out a little bit. Tico almost out of DRS range. He's got it up to 9/10 of a second. So he's just now putting a bit of a charge on, taking a couple of tenths out of Scuba, but Scuba's still got DRS, so he's closing. Getting some awful camera angles, there we go. The battle for P2 continues. Aaron has fallen back now quite considerably. He's now 9 seconds off the back of Scuba. And Dutch again just chipping away. Now down to 2.3 seconds. Just managed to take a couple of tenths out of Aaron, but Aaron keeping him at arm's length at the moment. And we've got Lennon in P5. Stijsbra hasn't dropped away, so having been overtaken, Stijsbra settled in behind Lennon. Are we starting to see that tyre switch over now? A little bit, I wonder. Medium starting to go off, the hards starting to come back to it, and it's getting very grey here, I've noticed.
Did it say anything about rain?
I didn't check the weather. Nobody said anything about rain, so but it's quite grey. Maybe it's just cloudy. As you see.
Certainly throw things open a bit.
Just 8 laps to go. And these four still running close together, but nobody really close enough to make an attack on the other at the moment, although Sway closing in on Iceman. Mercedes man. Mostly on older tyres, so he's doing a very good job to hang on to the back. That's Iceman. It's a good battle. We've got onto the podium in P9. He's got Mark not too far behind him, 1.6 seconds. So Connor having a bit of a lonely race at the moment, although Mark's trying to give him some company in the battle for P9. And then Graham has jumped Nexus Cats up into P11. I think I expect maybe to see a little bit more from Graham next week if he can get a decent qualifying under his belt. I know he's got good pace. I would have expected he'd be in that battle for P3 had he not been down the order at the start.
Dutch's gap now to Aaron is now 2 seconds.
So continuing to chip away at it a little bit. City Posh in a lonely P13 at the moment. 6 seconds off the back of Nexus Cats, 13 ahead of Brutus. Wing Div 2 champ, of course, he had contact on the opening lap as well. He's still on the hard tyres he pitted for at the very early stages.
They go 35 laps?
I would have thought so. Well, tyres tend to go quite far. The zombie behind him is not on much fresher rubber. We've got Sweeney, who seems to be racking up quite a number of penalties at the moment. I keep seeing his name flash up. Trying to charge on those soft tyres, perhaps go for fastest lap. And then we've got Kissy Bernard, who's just currently being lapped by Lennon. Into the pits comes Stijsbra, so Stijsbra is getting off his hard tyres. He's had enough.
I've also got a 5-second penalty for speeding.
Oh dear, it's going to hurt him because he's picked
intermediates.
Oh, is it raining?
It is.
So we did see it was getting great. And he's gone early though. He's gone very early.
Yeah.
Is that going to be an inspired call, or is that going to hurt him? Because I can't see any rain on the camera yet.
In TV pod view you can. I can. It's not heavy. I don't think the track's wet enough for intermediates.
I think he's gone too soon. I think he's gone too soon, I think.
Has Jeff stitched him up?
It's a brave call. It could have worked out for him. But I fear it may have cost him instead. Backing with the battle for the leaders, and Tico is under attack. Scuba has regrouped and is coming back at the race leader. A bit of a lock up. Look, TV pod. Yeah, I can't see enough. Yeah, I can see a little bit of rain, but yeah, it's not showing on the broadcast camera yet, so I don't think it's wet enough. I think he's gone too soon. I think he's been stipped up by Jess. Yeah, Stijsbra going wide, so yeah, he's struggling now. I think it was a brave call, but I think he's gone too early. Meanwhile, battle for P3 is on. Dutch now 1.1 seconds back. And Sway has passed Iceman as well in the battle for P6, so the Mercedes has split. The two has.
There seems to be quite a lot of rain hitting my camera now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's still not showing on the broadcast, but I mean, it's dark, but I can't see any rain. So let's have a look, see if we can see what the lap times were. I can't see any like last laps, so. No, battle is on for P3. Dutch is on the back of Aaron. So the battle for the lead is on. The battle for P3 is on.
Dutch has done very well with that broken wing.
Yes, Stijsbra is in the pits, although Brutus and Bernard are now pitting for intermediates as well. Stijsbra just picked up another penalty for for speeding in the pit lane. So that's not gone well. Does look a little bit wet now. Yeah, you can see the wet on the cameras, but it doesn't look wet enough yet. And the more people are diving in, the guys on the back, nothing to lose. Stijsbra has gone the other way, so Stijsbra has gone back onto mediums as some of the guys come in for intermediates.
Very interesting strategy.
Sway's in as well. So yeah, there's only 3 laps to go. Dutch is all over the back of Aaron as they come through too. Down the inside. The Renault man back onto the podium. Aaron's going to fight him around the outside. Nice respect given. Oh, Aaron's a bit of a wobble trying to get the power down. Slaps the side of the Renault.
Especially on a slightly bent track now as well.
More people in. Sway's in. Zumpy, Brutus and Bernard all on intermediates. Everybody else has carried on. Some people, it looks like cars are sliding a little bit now. I can't see either of the top 2 taking the count. Yeah, you can see the rain now on the broadcast camera a little bit. Seen a couple of drops of rain. So what's going on?
This battle between Tico and Scuba has been there since the start.
It is. This is the closest Scuba's been. Oh, Tico goes defensive very late there. Scuba looked like he was lining up for a move. He's still close. Oh, big slide though, trying to get the acceleration there. You can see the rain coming down now. This track is getting greasy, and he fancies his chances. He wants to be in front. It's close again. Tico, I think, is going defensive. I can't see because I'm getting a backwards-facing camera. Yeah, you can see this looks wet now.
Yep. What do you do with 2 laps to go?
I think if one goes, the other goes. But if neither of them go, then yeah.
Yeah, I think if Tico goes, Scuba goes.
I think with 2 laps to go, I don't think either of them are going to pit. I generally don't think either of them are going to pit.
Especially because I know they've got a 16 and 17.
They've gone around, I think it's Sumpy. Yeah, I don't think either of them are going to go in. It's the penultimate lap of the race. I just can't see them go Katz's in. They look like they're struggling a little bit now. Dutch has pulled away from Aaron, so I think Aaron's struggling a little bit in these conditions. Lennon is closing in as well, so Lennon is going very well. He's on Aaron, so Aaron now could be at the risk of losing P4. First 2, as you were, Tico just opened that gap up a little bit. Scuba not quite close enough this lap. Still in DRS range though, you can see the rain coming down. There's not any spray yet though, but a lot of the cars looking very twitchy.
Oh. Take it very cautiously around these corners.
Yeah, they do look like they're leaving a little bit left in it now, aren't they? They're not quite pushing us as they were. Scuba, he's got 1.5 laps to find a way past Tico, who has led most of this race, I think since turn 4 on lap 1. Miles on for 4. Aaron is now just 1.2, but no, it's just 1.1 seconds ahead of Lennon. City Posh. Graham are going. Apparently, Graham's now on 47 lap old softs. So I don't know what's going on in this game. Tico is now.
It went from 45 to 47.
Final lap then. Neither of the race leaders have stopped. We've got a spinner at the final corner. I think it's Bernard. But Tico has now opened that gap up. I think Scuba has settled. The battle is for P4 because Lennon is right on the back of Aaron. Into turn 1. We've got now 1.5 between the first 2, so Tico looks like he's got this one sorted. Meanwhile, Aaron and Lennon resuming their season 9 battle for Div 2 honours. That went in favour of Lennon because Aaron missed the final race on holiday. Yeah, you can see it raining now. These look very twitchy.
Now, I can't remember my prediction, but I don't think I was that far off.
I think you said Dutch win, didn't you?
Did I say Dutch win?
I can't remember. Or did I say Dutch win? Well, out of the final corner, either whoever said it, yeah, Tico wins either way. He starts the season in perfect fashion. Scuba jumps him on penalties. So Scuba wins after all that. Spammers, Bro and Sweeney finished their 13th and 14th. City Posh has leapfrogged Mark on the final lap. Dutch is going to come on for P3. Lennon and Aaron side by side. Lennon's wide. Who's going to get the drag to the line? Aaron's fourth on the road. Lennon, yeah, he jumped to stay ahead on penalties. Iceman's going to come round. He jumps to P4 with the penalties. Onto the podium up to P6, so he jumps Lennon. City Posh out of the final corner. Good recovery from him. If he finishes P8, he crosses the line. Mark, both of them get jumped by Graham. So Graham finishes P8. And Sway, who went for intermediates, but perhaps it wasn't the right call, he jumps Mark as well. So he's into the top 10. And the last one round will be Nexus Cats. Again, everyone who went on to intermediates, but I don't think it's quite ever crossed into intermediate weather.
Another couple of laps it may have done.
Yeah, maybe. Here you come round, and he finishes P12. So there we have it then. The first race of season 14 is done. And it is Tico with the victory. What a great drive there. Mark 17 gets driver of the day on debutant. So Coat Masters think the McLaren man worthy of driver of the day, but there it is. Oh, sorry, that was Scuba. Sorry, wasn't it? Who won? So Scuba wins, having spent most of the race looking at the back of that racing point. The penalties is what decides the race. So Scuba wins despite Tico taking it on track Clutch Tricks coming home in P3 after that collision at about half distance. A good recovery to snatch back a podium place. Some great driving in there from those three. So Scuba is your winner with just a one penalty. Tico actually had 9 seconds of penalties there, so yeah, quite a lot of penalties. Dutch with 6. Next, Iceman then comes up to P4, having had no penalties. That's a great effort from him. He leapfrogged Aaron and Lennon. Onto the podium, comes home P6 there, so good drive from him. Lennon down in 7th after the penalties. Graham P8 in the end there, so I think good recovery from Graham. I think that was good driving from him. Make that alternate strategy work quite well. City Posh came home in P9 in the end after the first lap contact. That's a good recovery, and Sway gets the final place in the top 10. Mark P11, Katz in 12th, Stysborough 13th. That gamble on intermediate's not quite paying off for him. And he heads Sweeney, who was P14, Brutus P15, Zumpy P16, Bernard P17, and our sole retirement was Mystic, unfortunately for him. So there we have it then, first race of the season in the books. And Div 1 does deliver some quality racing at the sharp end, doesn't it, Mikey?
It does. Hopefully we can offer something similar tomorrow night.
Indeed. I don't think it'll be good quality, but it'll be fun, no less. The quality might be slightly lacking, but the content will be exceptional, I think is the best way to put it too.
The entertainment will be there.
It certainly will do. So that is the end of coverage for Div 1 tonight. Thank you very much for joining us as we start on the journey for crowning a Season 14 champion in F1. We're very happy to be back to 2 divisions. So that's that first helping of F1 action for the week. But of course back tomorrow for Div 2. Second helping of action from the Red Bull Ring. And then Thursday and Friday we are back with GT Sport action. This week GT2 on Thursday is the Lago Maggiore doubleheader, with the East Circuit holding the sprint race and the GP Circuit holding the feature race. And then on Friday GT1 attacks the Nürburgring GP Circuit for the sprint race, and then we are spending 50 minutes running around the green hell that is the Nordschleife. So do keep tuned in for FTRL action. So 2 days of racing for you, Mikey. How are you feeling for the next couple of days?
Yeah, looking forward to tomorrow night. I've missed racing on F1. GT Sport's quite new to me, so you probably see me sliding around the grass a bit, but I'm looking forward to it nonetheless.
Yeah, it should be good fun. So, confident for tomorrow?
Fresh season, isn't it? We've got both in the Ferraris. Let's just give it a good go. See how we get on and push on throughout the rest of the season.
Indeed.
How about you?
Yeah, no, I'm excited to get started. Like Austria, I've had my best ever result in FTRL F1 here. It was in the wet last season, and I got P2, so...
Nice, yeah, remember that.
So yeah, enjoyed that race. In fact, I probably will pray for some rain tomorrow, actually. Might work in my favour, we shall see. I'm excited to get going. The game feels a lot more... a lot more drivable. I think the last game, I felt like as the game wore on, I got more on edge with the car. From season 10 I felt quite planted with it, and then as I got through to like season 13 I felt like any corner could literally kill me, so this game feels alright at the minute, so don't change anything with the handling, Codemasters, for the love of God, just leave it alone.
Yeah, change liveries, leave the handling.
Indeed. Right, so yeah, getting started tomorrow. Excited to kick off our F1 action, so do join us for that. But thank you very much for joining us tonight, everybody. Thank you, Mikey, for joining me in comms.
Thank you.
So good to have you on board, and we will see you for more Div 1 action on F1 this time next week. But for tonight, thank you very much for joining us, and good night.